All right, y'all, we're going to check out this boudoir photography business and see if it has BSS for these two Google searches. So we're back here in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More about that, pin video, whatever, home video, somewhere around here. This is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So over on the left here, we got the highest intent peeps, in the white here. The highest intent peeps. These are the Google searchers, the social searchers. They're searching for a boudoir photo shoot in their city. So when they're doing that in their city, that's closest to the money, fastest conversions, and that's what we want. Over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps, which people who are not searching for boudoir photography right now, or boudoir photo shoot in their city right now, and most of the time have no idea what the heck boudoir even is. And we deal with that with our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. But over here, we talk about BSS, and all right, so let's see what that is. All right, so BSS is boudoir search sameness. This is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0 is terrible, that means we're on page 2 or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of all Google searches never even hit page 2. So page 1 only searches, and as a result, if we're on page 2, we're invisible and our business will be failing pretty fast. Also, if we only got 1 slot on page 1, there's 10 organic slots on page 1. If we got 1 of them, guess what? We're being compared. A buyer, they're just going to click through everyone. Since we all look the same, we all got 1 link. A buyer simply going to be clicking through everyone on page 1, and approximately 80% chance they never even go to page 2. And so their filling everyone's contact form and price shopping everyone, negotiating, getting the best deal possible for themselves, and it's really a race to the bottom at that point. So boudoir search is bad. And 0 or 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's accepted, it's common, but it's not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are 1, market saturation, which basically everyone knows about. People get a new gear, new iPhone, new camera, and they're throwing up their Google Maps profile saying they're shoot boudoir. They're shooting, throw up their websites saying they shoot boudoir, and also, posting in the Mon groups saying they shoot boudoir. So market saturation, more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller. That's the basis of it. Now, the second one, which basically nobody knows about, is the false belief of page 1 equality. So page 1 equality was something that's kind of always been accepted, kind of automatically without people think about it. It's, just assume and accepting, every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And as a result, maybe I was on page 1, and someone else came and ranked above. Okay, it pushed me down to page 2, but that's what happens. That's the game, and I gotta hope they delete their website and Google stops indexing them so hopefully Google picks me to go back on page 1. Nope, 100% incorrect. It's a false belief, because what I've learned is that Google will actually give as many page 1 slots to the business that wants them and puts in the work to acquire them, puts in the effort to acquire them. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google in only 10 days because I wanted them. So I wanted those slots, so put in the effort to take those slots. So now we actually have a case study showing that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. Next, we know that boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So, if we're on page, if we're got 0 slots on page 1, obviously we're disappearing because we're on page 2 or deeper, and approximately 80% of the market will never even see us. And if we got 1 slot on page 1, we're essentially invisible, being price shopped to death. Just really spinning our wheels, wasting our time, so disappearing as well. And it's kind of the canary in the coal mine, the warning light, warning light on our dashboard, check engine light saying, hey, you're disappearing, and that means the boudoir photography business is also on a path to disappearing. So this is, that's why we like, the local search and the city search, so we can see kind of what path is our boudoir photography business on. But now, thankfully, finally, thank the universe, we now have a solution. We have figured out that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And it works exactly as the name says. We saturate social search, search on social media sites with the highest intent keywords, and we show up there, take as many slots as possible, and that's this kind of like it's like the backside of the Andes down in South America, where the snow is melting, goes into small streams, small rivers, and eventually it all collects into the large Amazon River. The Amazon River is page one on Google, so we basically got to kind of seed our Amazon River way at the top of the Andes with our social search saturation. And this is the only solution for boudoir photographers that I've seen that can actually successfully still enable a business to grow, have the possibility of growing in the face of more and more and more market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. The only other second option that exists is brand, building a massive known brand. But dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI's here taking people's jobs, forcing more people to become boudoir photographers because everyone's got a camera or a smartphone with awesome cameras, and people still need to earn money even though AI is taking their jobs. So we ain't got 5 to 10 years to make a brand. So SQ methodology kind of allows us to shortcut that a little bit. Well, at least by getting, on page one of Google. And by my estimates, it actually enables a brand to actually grow a brand at, my estimate is 8x as fast, kind of 8x speeded up. That's an estimate though, just because it'll be on so many surfaces, just for passive, content, kind of consumption on social media, but it'll be dominated on surfaces for social search and Google search. So my estimate is it'll speed up brand building 8x. And imagine got a well-known brand and you're still executing SQ methodology to make sure nobody in your city can ever touch you. I mean, it's ultra powerful. Now, here's an example um, of SQ methodology kind of enabling a business to still grow in the face of massive competition. Imagine we got a million boudoir photographers in Denver, Colorado. Denver, Colorado, aka Denver. And we're one of them. We got, everyone's got their websites and they do boudoir photo shoots. Everyone's trying to rank page one on Google. And we're like, all right, to compete here, the only solution we got here is S-Cube's methodology. So we crank that up to the max. And let's say we saturate the first, 300 slots on page one of Google, or no, first 300 slots for the highest intent keywords across all social search. So now any time of boudoir buyer searching those high intent keywords on social search, we pop up. Then that flows onto Google, and let's say we got the first 300 slots on Google. There's 10 organic slots per page, so we're taking up the first 30 pages on Google. And basically, none of our competitors are being seen until, someone scrolls down to the 300 first position, or goes to page 31 on Google organic search. Then, if we're basically the only one peeps can find, they keep seeing us, they keep seeing us, they keep seeing us. Then it's basically inevitable. We're going to be the only ones growing, and all the other boudoir photographers are going to be shrinking, disappearing, going out of business, going invisible. So, yeah, SQ methodology is the only solution I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to, gives them a chance to continue to grow in the face of massive market saturation. Now, once treated with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility and kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. So it's kind of a secondary, second initial benefit. First initial benefit, obviously, we're getting more slots page one on Google. Second initial benefit is we're actually kicking our competitors off of Google in our city and making them essentially invisible, becoming disappear, and making their business eventually disappear. Because we know approximately 80% of Google searches never hit page two. They're page one only searches. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So for this, the GBC universe recommends a minimum of 3 out of 10 page one slots on Google. That's because if everyone else got one slot, we got 3, we're dominating them. And the off chance, the super rare chance someone has 2, which is ultra rare, we're still dominating them. So we're basically dominating everyone in all scenarios. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So we got our micro universe here, a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It's caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. Thankfully, yes, I think the universe, we do finally have a solution, S cubed methodology, that we achieve page one visibility and become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. All right, so now into my results using S cubed methodology. I wanted to dominate the keyword for BLCS boudoir, and I exclusively used S cubed methodology to get these current results. So we did this for organic search, obviously. It's for ranking an organic search. Let's go to the organic slots. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days, purely using S cubed methodology. And now we're going to check out this. We're going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS, what we've been talking about, boudoir search sameness. All right. The first search, we always do the local search. This is boudoir photographer, Langley Township, British Columbia. So it's out east, some suburb part or whatever of BC. So we got the Google 3-pack. All right. Now we're at the the organic. So we got Klein. All right, this is who we're looking for. So we got one slot. And then let's see. All right, Klein again, but that's Langley branding photographer. It's not boudoir. We're not relevant to the keywords that we actually searched. So people's brains are actually going to scroll right by this, not even see it because they're searching for boudoir. And this happens like instantly in their brain. So that doesn't count. Going down, going down, going down. All right, so Klein, we got 1 out of 10 here. So that's BSS for this search, the local search. Let's go to the city level search. Now we're searching boudoir photographer Vancouver, BC. So we're still looking for Klein again. All right, we got Klein here, boudoir, all right. And that's it. We got BSS for both searches. So, as more market saturation happens, higher chance, we'll begin pushed off, that we get pushed off page 1 to page 2 of death. And even on page 1, we're looking the same as everyone else, having only, 1 out of 10 links here. So again, this is the false belief of page 1 equality in action, which is actually the most common false belief I'm seeing among boudoir photographers. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer and you've done the local search for the highest intent keywords in your city that buyers would be searching, you're seeing, you've got BSS at the local level or the city level or both, or, you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots on page 1 Google organic search. Then, so you're seeing you got BSS and you're seeing SQD methodology is the one solution for you, the one path forward. And, you want more slots on page 1. You also want the extra bonus of kicking out competitors from page 1, because now for approximately 80% of searchers, you won't be compared against them. The more we can kick off competitors off page 1, the better. And you want to use SQD methodology because the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, the false belief. You know that Google actually wants to and will give as many number 1 slots to whoever wants to put in the effort to take them. You understand market saturation, get new phones, market's getting saturated more, boudoir photographers get new camera, saturating boudoir photographers more. And you're also seeing into the future where AI is going to be taking more and more people's jobs. It's just going to be pushing more and more boudoir photographers into the market over time, or at least pushing more people to become boudoir photographers into the market over time because it's higher ticket. And look, everyone's got an amazing camera attached to their phone. So if you're seeing that and you realize, man, you want the initial benefits, but you also want the fortification benefits of S-cubed methodology to basically have a higher momentum wall of any new to market boudoir photographers from ranking on page one, taking those slots away from you. And so you're seeing all that. You want these kind of initial benefits. You want to achieve page one visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer. You want to achieve boudoir search visibility because you know you need all those things to be the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also want these extra few back-end bonuses as well, which is kind of the more you successfully execute S-cubed methodology, the more we're building up kind of these invisible thematic keyword columns kind of attached to our brand, attached to our social accounts, attached to our name, our business name, kind of building up these invisible spokes connecting to our central hub that are building up the mindshare for us in the minds of AI search. So every day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology, and all those initial benefits, then the extra back-end benefit of higher chance we're the only one recommended here on AI Overview, premium placement above all other options. For every day we execute S-cubed methodology correctly, and higher chance we are recommended via AI search, which is basically ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, and Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Kind of, we're building up this brain space momentum in the back end in AI's, AI brain for a higher chance they recommend us through AI search with all these platforms. Because, we'll eventually build up enough invisible thematic keyword columns connected to us, which is what AI loves. And so back-end benefits with that. And also, the final back-end benefit is every day we do this, we're pulling away from current boudoir photographers, building up all these initial benefits and the momentum to the future benefits, the domination of AI search. So remember last time I searched for boudoir photographers in a city, it recommended me 3, but I actually went and searched on my own, and there's like 60. So we're getting the initial benefits page one, kicking people off page one, so they're no longer findable. We are increasing mindshare for AI in the back end, for AI Overview, Google search, and all traditional AI search recommending us as well. And we actually, the more action we take now to separate us from current competitors and future competitors, the more momentum we build up, the harder and harder it will be for anyone to catch us. Because right now my plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city, which means we won't be, all the competitors will be left in the dust. But conversely, if you're seeing all that, you decide you're going to be the first mover of your city. Conversely, if a competitor moves first, then we'll be making all the initial benefits and future momentum towards future benefits with them. And you'll actually have to rederive or derive for the first time your own S-cubed methodology, figure out how to do it yourself. And then you have to go execute it, which you will not be 100% confident in because you will not know if you've successfully derived it for yourself, yes or no. You'd have to equal our execution to maintain the gap of yourself and me and your competitor. And you'd actually have to outwork us by 2 or 3x to, basically close the gap, pull back the brain space momentum, those invisible thematic keyword columns from AI that's going to your competitor back to you. And dude, who's got the time? There's only 24 hours in the day. How are you going to outcompete us when I invented this? So if you know you want all that, then shoot me a DM. You want to be a first mover in your city? Shoot me a DM when my DM's open for new patient intake. My DMs are currently not open for new patient intake. But when I do open my DMs for new patient intake, send me a message and we'll see if you qualify to use S-cubed methodology in your business.